And let's start out with our shout outs today. If you're here, I see several new faces. So I'm Julia Carty. If you're on here, you're most likely somewhere on my team. And we have met either on a Sunday or Monday night for 10 years, pretty consistently. I think there was one short little stint that I stopped and realized we like to come together. So I do like to say this is a little bit different than other calls you might get on the Plexus because I really want it to be interactive. So I love that I can see a lot of your faces tonight. Thank you. You do not have to be all dressed up to get here. Um, but unmute yourself, ask questions, ask it in the chat. Sometimes I just miss it in the chat. But please, if you have an idea or something that's worked for you, we want to hear it from you. This is a joint effort. And tonight we are going to talk about follow-up. It's actually a old training I found. I don't know. I think L. Rob created acrostic. I did tweak it because I don't know. We grow. After 10 years, you come up with new ideas. And I realized oh, we can make this better. So that's what we try to do here is take what works, make it better. But let's start with our shout outs. I have a list because we just ended January and we have a lot, but I want to give y'all room to shout each other out, unmute yourself, throw it in the comments, tell me something good. Maybe something that happened in January or just so far this week.
Hey, I want to do one. I think Kathy is on here. I see her now. See, you turned your camera on. This is her first time being on the call, and she became an ambassador 3 days ago on February the 1st, and she is already Fast Start Silver. She is under Jen, which Jen was with me at the beach at our retreat. So she is Jen's. So she's my level 2. She's Jen's level 1. So I'm really excited for her. Very, very excited.
Hey, welcome, Kathy. Anybody else? You can shout yourself out, a neighbor out, a friend out. Nothing good happened in January. Come on, guys.
I'm going to shout out somebody.
Hey, Allison.
Jessica McElroy, when we were down in Florida, was talking about her hesitations to post on Instagram because it was the what would people think mindset. And she had been in that, stuck in it, and was fearful. And we had a big, long talk. And she did it and posted, and she's so excited. And she did not get any of the negativity she was afraid she was going to get. So she's amazing, and her team grew significantly, and she helped a Fast Start Silver.
Yeah, Jessica.
Yeah.
I don't. There you are, down there. It's a full crowd tonight. Anybody else? Okay, then I'm going to start with our stats. I had my faithful assistant pull some stats because I was like, I don't numbers because typically I get on here, I'm like, I don't know. This month is our cruise. Raise your hand if you're going on the cruise or if you earned the cruise. Woohoo! We had 73 earners, guys. That's incredible. Three. I guess I just never put the dots together. We had three, one including myself, but two besides me earned the cruise twice, which means Rebecca Williams and Lindsay Russell, who are two of our diamonds, earned it twice. That means they earned it on their diamond position and their second position. And y'all, I'll tell you firsthand, that is impressive if you can earn it twice. So way to go, Rebecca and L Rob. We have 26 shopping spree earners on our team. I think that's incredible. Raise your hand if you're a shopping spree earner. Though in the comments, one thing you know you're eyeing. I know some of you are like nervous about spending money, but put one thing in the comment. Everybody wants to know what you're gonna buy. Pots and pans. Tanya, that's what my husband wants me to buy, and I'm not doing it. So I was like, no. I might buy him a nice kitchen knife, maybe. Um, in January, our team developed 19 new brand ambassadors. That means we have 19 new men and women who are sharing Plexus. We have no, I'm sorry, I read that wrong. 19 people develop brand ambassadors. We have 20 new brand ambassadors. So we have 20 people sharing. We had 14 rank ups for January. That's pretty good, guys. One gold. Woohoo! Um, 5 senior silvers and 8 silvers. So good job. And I want to give a shout out. We are currently in, so if you're like, I missed the cruise or I wasn't around, maybe you're new, we are in the midst of a contest. So every year, we have Leaders Retreat, which is the cruise, but everyone gets to come to convention. So if you're coming to convention, you should come to convention. Leaders go to convention. Leaders are created at convention, and they just are. So comment if you're going to convention and who you're rooming with, if you know, or just say, or maybe say, I need a roommate, because we realize that some of those rooms are expensive. We have found some cheaper options. If you want to message me of like, hey, I've had a few of you say, hey, do you know some cheaper options of hotels that are safe and around convention? Just let us know. But so far in the convention contest, we have Lindsay Russell. I'll kind of name them. Lindsay Russell, Christy Doss, Bethany, Jessica Copeland, Brandy Walker, Lisa Knopfsinger, Melissa Amos, Randy Underwood, April Evans, Allison Caldwell, Megan Griffin, Lindsay Bryant, and Rebecca Williams, who are on the leaders board. So the leaders board are the top 300. And you might think 300 is a lot. 300 is not a lot when you're talking about how many ambassadors does Plexus Worldwide have? Maybe that should be like somebody put it in the chat. I don't really know, but somebody can fact check this. I feel like we have a lot. So that's pretty impressive. So way to go. If you heard their names, tell them congratulations. Very, um, I'm laughing at T. Marie. She's like, I'm rooming by myself intentionally. You know what? You can use convention to get a hotel room by yourself. I understand. So all those shout outs. We had a great January. We're already having a great February. I already have one of our Roz messaged me, which is one of our Diamond Uplines, messaged me and was like, what is your team doing? Because you've added so many VIPs already these first 3 days. And I honestly was like, I think we're just rolling off of January's excitement. Corporate gave us some really great deals at the end of January with the free shipping and dollar enrollment, with the free reset. And I think some of that excitement has just bubbled over. And we have good, I can't tell y'all. I'm not allowed to tell you, but we have things coming in February, guys. So be on the lookout on just specials. That's what I can say. So I am
Hey, do
gonna.
you want me to say it? Because they said it on the Ambassador Academy page on the call already. Or
Oh,
do you want to say what tomorrow's is?
well, yeah, I was gonna say. Well, I was gonna kind of leave it for the
Oh,
but it's okay. We're talking about follow up, but I'll tell you, we're not talking about follow up customers. But if they announce on the ambassador page, sometimes they leak things there or they say things before they tell us. We can tell. Tomorrow it starts free reset. Probably should let Team Marie announce it. Free reset for 3 days. Huh? Nope.
mm-mm. Nope. 25% off reset for current customers.
Thank you. 25% off.
The 4th to the 7th.
You should have said it.
Discretionary orders only.
Yes.
One
So
time.
the 4th through the 7th. Is that
Yeah.
correct? I had
Yeah.
those numbers right. The 4th through the 7th. So do know tomorrow you will start following up with your customers. Those are for existing people. But tonight's is really talking about following up with potentials. So this special is not for them right now. So before we get started on our training, I'm going to give it over to our fabulous Miss Lisa Knopfsinger to open us up in prayer. And if you don't know, we're going through the 25 ways. Is it? No, it's 10 ways to pray for your business in 2025.
Hey guys, yeah, so there's 10 ways. There's 10 verses that were already posted about 6 days ago. So, um, and I'm just going through one as Julie asked me to. So this is just one of them. It's from Psalms 5:3. It says, in the morning, Lord, you hear my voice. In the morning, I lay my request before you and wait expectantly. And this is begin your day in prayer, meditation. Um, Ask the Lord for the desires of your heart and believe that He will answer. So I used to think that praying in the evening was fine, and it is. You can have a quiet time in the evening. But if you pray in the evening, make sure that you pray in the morning as well. And I'll tell you why that I've become a believer that you should just stop for a few minutes every morning. Because even if you're not a mom, even if you're not a wife, if you're on this call, you have, I'm assuming, the desires to allow the Lord, or maybe you're not a believer. If you're a believer, you want to allow the Lord to infuse Himself into your business. And so, if you are a wife and a mother, then all the more reason to stop in the morning and to give your day over to the Lord, invite Him into your business, your marriage, your parenting. and just being a good, decent human being. But it's going to set the tone for the rest of the day. It allows us to surrender our thoughts, our plans to the Lord right at the beginning. And then it also, this is my favorite part, is that it helps to change our perspective for the rest of the day. If we set the tone in the morning, and because as we face those challenges and disappointments throughout the day, you're going to remember that quiet time, and the Lord can hopefully, as we allow Him to, just to infuse Him into our thoughts. Okay, so let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, just thank you so much for this group of women and men, possibly, but just the families that are represented here and the lives. Thank you for allowing us to come together freely and just for the freedom to just be able to share what's on our hearts about our business and just to surrender that over to you, Lord. I pray that starting tomorrow that we'll just start just taking a few minutes and just as we rise, Lord, that we'll just remember to set our intentions on you and how you want to not only bless our business, but how you can bless our business through us and the lives of others. And we pray all these things in your son's name. Amen.
Thank you, Lisa. And y'all can find those all on Jewel Heist. So we have all of them listed, and each week as we focus on one, we will put them up under that post. And if you have a team page, feel free to copy, paste, share it on your team page. Someone did just ask though, and I was like, oh, if you're new, you don't know. Convention is in Dallas, Texas. Okay. Which for many of us, as I look at Teresa, and she's not part of us, it's a driving distance. So that's very good. For many of us, you could drive to Dallas. Maybe Teresa, you're close to Dallas. I really don't know. Geography. No, you're not driving to Dallas. Okay. She's our northerner. So here tonight. Maybe there's more of you. If you're from up north, let us know. Teresa might want to fly him, buddy. Okay, we're going to talk about follow-up. I am going to share a screen really quick. Yep, look how easy I did that. Hopefully you can see a little bit of my screen. In case you just want to take notes, I'm going to take it down. That way we can look at each other. But this was made, like I said, years ago, follow-up February. And I changed a few of the words to go with our acrostic. Here, if you don't know, we love an acrostic. It's the kindergarten teacher in us. But it's just heart. And these are kind of the key points. This is very simple. I always say this business can be hard, but it is very simple. And we want to keep things simple here because when we keep things simple, more likely we're going to do them. So that's just real quick so you could see that and kind of have a visual. I don't have a PowerPoint or anything like that because I'm trying to keep things simple. But I did find some alarming statistics. And I thought it would be really good for us to talk about it for just a minute. So, and this comes from the growth list. So it seemed a very legitimate website. Okay, guys. So I didn't just like Google and just find different things, but I sat there and read through it for a while because only 2% of sales are made on the first contact. So how many of you have reached out to somebody about Plexus and they bought the first time that you said something? It's happened. It's happened over the past 10 years. Okay. But very few, 2%. Only 2% of sales happen on the first contact. The chances slightly increases to 3% on the second. The third, 5%, reaching the fourth time, and it doubles to 10%. Most between the fifth and the 12th contact. 80% of sales are made. And we talked about this at the retreat. They said 17 times, 17 drippings. If you were in my training, if you were at our retreat. 44% of us will stop after one follow-up, which means you'll reach out to somebody, you'll get really excited. Am I going to say, like my post, let me reach out to them? And they're not going to buy. They're not interested. And then you might get enough courage that next time you're like, okay, I'm going to invite them to a Monday night call. 44% of us are going to stop there. You're going to be like, they're not interested. Done. 8% of salespeople, us, go beyond 4 no's. So only 8% of us will actually follow up more than 4 times. 52% of us make the effort, only make the effort to follow up. So that means like 48% of people just don't bother following up. They're just like, I'm done. 80% of sales, and this is overall, this is not network marketing, need at least 5 follow-ups. I like this, and this has a point because one of our points is going to go here. No pressure follow-ups, which means not making someone feel pressured or uncomfortable or, win over 57% of customers, meaning people don't like to feel pressured. I don't like to feel pressured. How many of you have bought something because you're just like, I just feel like I gotta buy it? I mean, I've done it, but what's the chances of me being a repeat customer? Um, so that I just think statistics don't lie. I mean, maybe statistics do lie. I think these are pretty true. Even just being here 10 years, looking at our business, I know for me, um, many of you know my story. Like, if I'm so thankful my friends did not stop posting about Plexus. I am thankful that even though I told them, I unfollowed them on Facebook and I said, do not talk to me about Plexus again at church or Bible study, or I'm not coming back. But thankfully, it was part of their life, and I started asking questions. They loved me where I was at. And I think that's kind of one of the main things here. And I think it's February. It's being the season of love. I think that's the most important part of following up is balancing, continually talking to people, continually going back to them, but doing it out of love and having the intelligence of knowing, okay, this is where they're at and this is how I can meet them where they're at. So I just saw El Rob on here. I just see you right down there. And I'm like, you made this acrostic. I just had to change some words because I had to make it a little bit more to this day. Because it's like I said, we've evolved. So H. Okay, first of all, I've got to make sure. And I know we have some new, and so you might be like, I don't have anybody to follow up with. I'm just now sharing. That's great. Just go ahead and take notes because we can all assure you that you're hopefully going to have a notebook full of people that have been interested about Plexus and have not bought yet. How many of you still have people that have not bought from, not, I hate to say bought from you, that you're still talking to about Plexus, you're still trying to help them, get them interested in the business and products. And this is for both y'all. We're not gonna separate the two. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's just funny. I mean, just years later, the people that are still like, oh, still tell me when the specials are, but they're just not quite ready yet. So H is help offset the cost. And this is one of our new ones. So 2 ways, and these are just organic, real ways to follow up this month, and I want you to do it, is think about the specials that we have. There will be a special this month for you to follow up with your potentials, okay? So, hey Sarah, I did scripts, but y'all know I'm not a fan of scripts completely because I want it to sound like you, but just to give you an example of, hey Sarah, I wanted to let you know that we have $1 shipping this week. We don't, I just use that. Are you still thinking about trying Plexus? Like just dropping it in. I'm serving her. I'm not bothering her. I'm letting her know, oh, we have a free reset. Oh, we have 25% off sale. I'm going to take my follow-up. Every time there's a special, that is your green light to go to every person that's ever shown any interest in Plexus to you. Okay? Because you've got to change your main. How many of you feel like you're just bothering people because you're like, I reached out to them last month about the free reset and they didn't want it? Well, guess what? This month we're going to have a different special. So, and it might just be like, and we're going to talk about that. Last month they might just not have afforded it. Like maybe it was after Christmas and they just didn't have it in their budget. They were paying off that credit card bill. You never know why they didn't do it. Share this month's incentive. Okay, share. It says help offset the cost. You're going to share the specials on how they can save money, but remember, oh, we have an amazing business to share, and we want to lead with the business. So every month, you can go to those same people and say, hey, I know we've talked about Plexus a couple of times. I would love to help get you started this month. In fact, if you have 3 friends who could use your referral link this month, you can get double bonuses and earn about $300. That would be enough to cover about your first 2 months of products, maybe even some extra. Would you be interested in chatting this week? I can share some script. I'm like Billy, like you like my scripts. If you want the scripts, you can get them. But does that make sense? Like I'm natural, like Hey, I know she hasn't bought. We've chatted. I'm going to present the business opportunity to her. Did I say, hey, Melissa, I know we've talked about Plexus and you haven't bought the products yet, but would you like to just come work and make some money and join my team? No, I didn't say join my team, make some money. I simply just shared, like, hey, this month you could go, and I didn't use Fast Start Silver. Potentials do not know what Fast Start Silver means. They don't know what Fast Start means. I just put it in layman's term of, hey, I'd love to help you get started. In fact, this month, if 3 friends could use your referral link, do you know 3 friends? You know, I'm presenting that to them. So H, set the cost. Does anybody have any questions about H? Any ideas? Any of you amazing leaders want to put your 2 cents into that one? No? I'm going to get trust that you like that. Like, I'm so prepared.
I was hoping you would repeat what you just said because it was really good.
Hey, I have it typed. So do you
Okay.
want to just put it in the Monday night thread when we're done?
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, because even if I put it in the Zoom, it's on Zoom. I don't know. I've never figured that out. I don't know how people do that, but it's not there. Okay, so that was H. E, because we're spelling heart if you haven't figured it out. E, engagement. Okay, this is part of one of those things when follow up. There are some months that I don't need to talk plexus to them, okay? Like use your social awareness. And it's just like I need to engage with them. Um, or I might need to see, oh, their grandfather passed away, or their child's been really sick. That might not be the time to come and invite them to an event. So, examples is stay engaged with your potentials, like and comment on their pictures, have a play date, ask them to coffee, continue to be their friends. Y'all, that is how my sponsor and my uplines, that's how I ended up here because they continue to be my friend. Um, you know, private message talk. I always say, like, tell them their kids are cute, but don't lie if they're not cute. Tell them their clothes are cute, whatever. We used to have a way to do this on social media to make lists. I'll be honest, I don't do that anymore, but I do keep a running list of who I need to keep engaged with. Be honest, ask questions. That's like if someone has been ghosting you, if you've done the others, then ask them a question like, "Hey, didn't you go to Disney World last week or last summer? What was your favorite park, or where did you get those cute Disney t-shirts?" Ask them, "Hey, can you tell me, you vacation at Gulf Shores. Can you tell me your favorite place to eat?" Like, just be a human, be their friend. And again, don't do it in an icky way. Do it because your engagement with people shouldn't always be about plexus. Because really, your position should be if they join my team or not, I want to have a relationship with them, Be real. So, E, engagement. Anybody have anything to add to engagement? Did anybody join like me because someone kept up an engagement with you? No, I'm just the loner there. That's okay. Huh? It worked for me. Okay. HEA. This is the last one I had to tweak is ask them to an event. Okay. This is a natural way to follow up. So y'all have these lists, you have these people, you feel like maybe some of them are ghosting you. You think some of them just keep telling you they're going to order, but they just never order. Some might be just brand new and they haven't took the shot yet. Monday night calls. Who was on the call tonight with Christina and Brittany? Was it fabulous? Woo-hoo. You can even send them the recording of tonight's call. I already have 2 teachers that I know tonight tomorrow, I'm going to send them the recording of tonight's call. I know they were at the ball field tonight. I think I said this the other day. It's the same story. People are at the baseball field right now. We live in the South. That's where they are. They couldn't get on the call. I'm going to send it to them because they're teachers. Host your own party. Just because corporate's having these amazing events, which I think we should take advantage of, you can still host your own sip and see. You can still host your own Facebook party. You have a team of very capable women that can help you do that. I had somebody this past week ask me if I thought it was a good idea for them to host a sip and see at their house. They were like, "Do people still do those?" I'm like, If you want to do it, then yes, people still do those. They still work. In fact, I think they work better than I think it's just coming back around. I think people want to be see face to face. Allison, you said you're having one Saturday. What kind of her picture's not on. If you're where you can talk, tell us what you're doing Saturday.
Sorry, I'm back. Yeah. Saturday, my friend has it's called Surf City Social. It's like just a little gathering spot. And she's a customer kind of on and off. And we were talking the other day about, me having an event up there. She's like, yeah, let's do it Saturday. Let's do it at this time. And so she's got like a charcuterie thing coming and all this stuff and posting it all over her socials, just to gut health awareness and all the things. So I'm just excited. It'll be whoever I can get there from all over the place.
That's awesome. And see, guys, she's not stressed. She's just having a gut health charcuterie that like you go. And this is the thing, a lot of people, there's a lot of women and men that just don't want to get on Facebook stuff. But when you invite them like, hey, I'm having this event, they'll come. It's
I find people join faster than when you're talking online. For me, I don't know if for everybody, but
absolutely. So
yeah.
So our A is ask them to an event. To have an event, you got to host an event or invite them to the Monday nights. R, this is a fun one. Redo. Now, this is for our oldies, okay? If you're a seasoned ambassador, raise your hand. You've been around here. Okay, so you might, I'm laughing at this because you can tell I wrote this a long time ago, but I'm laughing because El Rob and I, when we first started, if you asked us about Plexus, we sent you about a 26-page email with about 8 attachments. No, like no joke. Like we sent you an email and like my blurb was this big and I vomited Plexus on people. Now, hopefully we are training a little bit better these days, but some of you less seasoned ambassadors, newer ones, would you say when you started sharing, even if it was a year or two, April, like maybe you overshared at the beginning? Maybe you just scared some people away.
My
Literal.
sister's not on here, but she would tell me I used way too many words.
Yes. I love that El Rob said we had a Dropbox. I don't even know if people know what a Dropbox is. We like literally sent them a thing with, it would be like somebody saying, hey, will you tell me about Plexus? And we send them our boards. Here you go. Just look through this.
I actually had a conversation with somebody like a couple weeks ago that reached out to me when I first started. And I went back and read our messages and I was like, no wonder you did not order for me. Like, I'm so sorry.
And y'all, April's an emerald. So this is the thing. You are in good company. And if you're brand new, no, you can mess up and still succeed in this business. Okay. It's not a one and done thing. So R for my follow-up is just a good, authentic redo. Ask for forgiveness. This is for a message for anybody that's just, if you've sent the yucky, cold message of like, hey girl, hadn't talked to you since second grade, but I think you'd be great at my business. If you've done it, that's okay. Like we try not to do it anymore because we realize that doesn't really build that relationship. It doesn't really share what we have. But hey, Lindsay, I know I messaged you a while back with Plexus. I'm sorry for sending you a book to read. I was just so excited when I first got started and wanted everyone to try these products. I still do, but I realize you might just want to ask a few questions or try a sample. Have you tried Plexus yet? Like, just be real with them. And I hope through this whole silly acrostic that you're hearing, the point is just to be a human, okay? To be real. Let me see who's saying this? That's T. Marie. If I go to message someone and see weird old messages, I unsend them immediately before sending a new message. That's such a great tip. Who needs to know that tip? Probably me. And T. Marie always reminds me of this. If you don't know who you messaged, and let's be honest, we have some people here. I mean, I'll be honest. I'm sure there's people I've messaged that I have forgotten about. I know there is. You could go to the search, like your messengers, and like search up like Plexus or Triplex, and all those messages will come up. So you can kind of see some old messages. Might be a good way to figure out if you're thinking your follow-up list is a little short, but you've been here for a while, you could do that. Cart, special, Insta-day, reset. Thank you, Tamari. She's telling us keywords you can search through your messages to see, are you missing, did somebody fall through the cracks? That's awesome. Anybody else? Anybody have you ever done a redo message for a follow-up? Anybody want to share about a redo message that might have worked? I
I've
don't.
done the same. Oh, sorry.
No, go
I've
ahead.
done the same thing you just said, right? Like reached out and I was like, oh my gosh, I completely dropped the ball. I am so sorry. You asked me for a sample and I disappeared. How weird is that? And I was like, I promise I'm not a crazy person. I apologize. And then I was like, did you still want to try it? Have you tried it already? And they were like, oh my gosh, no, I'd still love a sample. Y'all, it was like months. It was embarrassing. But I was like, I'm gonna own that and just be like, I am sorry. And they were totally good.
Yeah. So, but the key is let's not make it a habit. Obviously, that's not a habit of Allison, or she wouldn't be a senior Ruby, but it happens to us
Yes,
all.
doesn't happen often, but
It
woo.
happens to us all. So with the redo, and I just kind of popped in, like, sometimes it can be really organic. I have a dear friend that I've been wanting to do this business with since the beginning. In fact, she's joined my team and quit my team like twice. I've brought her to retreat events, all this stuff. But this past week, I'm like, this is being recorded, but she ain't watching it. This past week, I just voice messaged her, and she really was on my heart because I really think this business would be great for her and her family. And I just messaged her and was like, listen, it's me again. Like, and we talk friendship wise, but I'm like, I really think you should come do this with me. I was like, every time I am preparing for a training and think, who do you want to do this business with? Who do you want to be sitting on the beach in Hawaii or on a cold boat in Alaska? I'm excited about Alaska. I just didn't know we weren't wearing bathing suits. Um, I think of you automatically. Like, and I do. It was very authentic. And I know that might not be a redo, but it is kind of a redo because I keep redoing the same message in a way because I'm like, and this time she's like, let's talk next week. She goes, I really would like to have more time with my kids at home. And I'm like, that's more than you've given me? Like, so my thing is sometimes a redo might not be like, I'm sorry I messed up. It's just, uh, hey, I'm going to ask again. I'm going to ask probably in a more authentic way. And I'm not going to give up on you because I really do think this business could be life changing for your family. So, last one, T, heart, is testimony. I feel like this is like everybody kind of knows this. But again, tonight's thing is simple. And guess what, y'all? This whole training will not work unless you put it into practice. If you do these 5 things, every month for the 2025, I promise you, your follow up will change. If it's not just always at the end of the month when you need the points and you're just following up to make sure they don't want that sell. People realize this at the end of the month. I know when my people reach out to me at the end of the month and they're network marketing what they're doing. I mean, I don't mind it, but I'm in a different place. Um, Testimony. I think I got this from you, Tina Marie. I don't know because it makes me laugh because it's restless leg syndrome. Hey, Sarah, I remember one time you telling me you had restless leg syndrome. A teammate of mine posted this testimony on how our products helped her. It made me think of you. Like, again, if you've talked to them and they said, hey, I have POTS, then I might send Melody Kane's testimony to them. If it's a teacher, I might send them a business testimony of a teacher. That is a very organic way, and I say authentic, for you to see these testimonies, you need to be present on Healthy Starts Here, Joel Heiss, or whatever team page you're plugged into, because those are where you're going to see the testimonies. If you're seeing them, that's why testimonies are a great thing to post. Okay. And be looking at our team page. We're going to kind of switch up of how we're doing some testimonies this month. I'm really excited about you hearing from people on our team, their stories. So, how many did anybody finally purchase or buy because someone sent you a testimony that you connected with? Anybody?
Well, I joined because Lindsay Russell posted a testimony about IBS. That is the only reason I'm sitting here right now.
And you had IBS, you connected to it. So, I see Angel says yesterday's post about ease. I have set up 3 subs already and have had more convo from that one post. Yes. Um, I was brave this week. I'm just shouting myself out since y'all all listen to me. I had an old customer post about having an autoimmune disease this week and was desperate. And I, sure enough, voice messaged her and said, hey, I can't promise you'll lose 25 pounds on my products. I can't promise anything, but I said, one thing I can say, if you will be consistent with these products and take them like I tell you, I was a little bold. Again, she's an old friend. I said, women with autoimmune diseases find relief with our products. And I shared her my mom's testimony, and I shared a little bit of my testimony because that's just, I believe in it. So I think if I had not shared that, and then she was like, okay, if it helped your mom, like, let me just have it. And she ordered like that. Um, Kathy says, join because Jennifer posted about all the things I was struggling with. Yes, I saw people connect. Saw her post a couple of times over a year ago before I decided to get on board. It took her 2 years. Okay, y'all. So, but personally sending specific testimonies to people, if you know they have that issue, like how loving is that? Like, again, like it's not because you're just trying to make a sale, y'all. It's because we know our products can help people. We know it can help their IBS, their autoimmune. We know it can help them. So, testimony. So I just have a couple of tips. I know it's a little late, sorry. Get organized. Brandy reminded me of this. We had a fun little jewel call this morning. This is not a get organized training, but I'll tell you, you need to be organized. And that might, how many does organized scare you away? I mean, if y'all saw what my desk looked like, I would scare away. Everybody has something that works different, whether it's a spreadsheet, an Excel spreadsheet, a calendar. We were talking about the prospect box. That's what it was called in my whole thing, a prospect box. Like back in the day, I had, and Brandy was bringing it back, and April was saying she bought all this stuff, like an index box or a recipe card box, and you put every person's name on something. It's a way you could follow up with your customers, but you can also put your prospects. I see Teresa. She's our most organized person on this team. Go ahead and unmute yourself and tell us how you stay organized. She could do the training.
No, I just have this little book that I got and I splurged on myself, and it's got different little this is new reach out possibilities, so I keep up with that. This one has the samples that I've sent to people so I can follow up. This one's the fortunes in the follow-up, those that haven't signed up, and then affirmations. So I just keep them all in one, and then I take it with me to work, or if we're on a trip, I just have it with me all the time.
That's awesome. And if you were on the retreat, I'm going to jog your memory. You had on the back of our retreat workbooks that were fabulous prospect lists. Y'all, I started it today. That's how I'm keeping up with my prospects. It's here. If you want this PDF, we can send it to you and print yourself stuff off. But you need to have a list so you know, okay, I've sent her a testimony. I've invited her to an event. I'm engaging with her. I'm like, this is a job. At the end of the day, this is what we're working towards. Next little point is seen doesn't mean no. How many of you have sent a message and you can see it says read, but they don't respond? And you're like, what do I do now? You know, like it's much better if they haven't read it. So maybe they didn't have time to answer. Maybe Elro always had the fun little saying, like maybe they were cooking spaghetti, and I don't know, it was something about spaghetti. I don't remember it, but maybe they were. Maybe they just had their phone and they were looking at recipe, and then they saw your message, but they had to finish cooking dinner. Maybe they wanted to research the products. Maybe their kid had their phone at dinner, because I promise you, Reese has our phone. Sorry, y'all, that makes us sound like terrible parents. But for us to eat quietly, if we're out to eat, we hand them our phone, and we're okay with that. So maybe he had it, and he saw it and swiped up because he wanted to watch his YouTube channel. Maybe the timing wasn't right. No isn't a scene, but no is not no. Not right now is not a no. Until they absolutely say, Angel, I am not interested in your stuff. Stop bothering me. To me, the green light is to go. Because remember my story, I told my friends, do not mention Plexus to me again. So they sat in the engagement phase with me till I started asking questions. Okay? Maybe you didn't make the right connection. And I like to talk about that. It's everybody's light bulb comes on for difference. Maybe you're trying to sell them a ProBio 5 because you know their kids have eczema, but really they need the business. And it's going to be that business testimony that you post that makes them go, oh my goodness, I need that. So, and the last thing I will say is get them to face or on the phone. And I feel like a lot of this we talk about that. The best follow-up tip I can get is if you can move them off of Messenger or off of text and say, hey, can we chat? Like with everything, say, hey, do you have time to chat this week? Nail down a time, because there was a statistic and I didn't like now post it, but it's huge. Like if you can agree on a time to talk, like, hey, are you free tomorrow at noon after I drop the kids off at Mother's Day out? And they say yes, their chances of actually talking with you and following through is much higher than if you just leave it open of, oh, here's a cart. You know, let me know if you run into any problems checking out. If you can get them on a phone or face to face and walk them through that process, it is always typically a better, smoother, I guess, follow up. So that's all I got. Any questions? Y'all feel more prepared to follow up this month? Oh, Rob, do you want to share your spaghetti story that I couldn't remember, but I know you have it?
Only because I've done this quite a few times. I'm on my phone and I'm like, oh my gosh, my spaghetti noodles are burning. But I mean, if you're on your phone and all of a sudden you're like, oh, squirrel. So people are just, yes, they're burning spaghetti sometimes.
I forgot you were burning spaghetti. Yeah, I should have remembered that. All right. Well, I'm going to stop the recording, but I will stay on.